Alright, now we're doing 7Q, the 12 Days of Christmas. This is by Dingle Mouse, and 84% of people like it. Oh no, the song sheets have been dropped in the snow, and the lines of each verse have become all jumbled up, right? Our task is to write a comparative function which can sort the lines into their correct order, otherwise Christmas will be cancelled. Reminder below is what the final verse should look like, okay? So basically, O, this is the highest value, this is the lowest value, and everything else just goes up in an ascending order. Alright, or descending, whichever you want to say it. So right here, we're going to do some if statements. We're going to say if, and first off, we're going to take care of these edge cases. So if A at 0 equals A, or if B at 0 equals capital O, we're going to return 1. So basically, we're going to look in here and we're going to say, since we can't really parse these ones, anyway, we'll talk about parsing a little bit. Since we can't really parse these ones that easily, we're going to say if this is is A, or if this is B, we're going to return it 1. That way, anything that's smaller than, if whatever's in this in the A position and B is this one here, it's always B is always going to be larger. Okay, so basically, whenever B is larger, we're going to return 1. All right, so now let's do this again, but let's do the opposite. Let's say capital O here, A here, and naturally negative 1. All right. So if this is smaller, and there's nothing smaller than this one here, it's going to be negative 1. All right. And now let's take care of the cases when it's one of these numbered ones against each other. So let's say if, and on this one we're going to say number.parse int. The number.parseInt method parses a string argument and returns an integer of the specified radix or base. That doesn't give us anything. Basically, we're going to push a string into this. We're going to take this argument and push it in here, and it'll return a number. So it'll see like 12 drummers drumming in a string. It'll say, okay, well, 12 is the only thing there. We're going to put it there. All right. So now if this is less than number dot parse int B, naturally, because B's larger, we're going to return 1, right? So return 1. And if that's not the case, return negative 1. All right, and this should work. Let's see what happens. All right, good. And let's attempt it. All right, 6 milliseconds is the time to beat. We're going to make this a little bit shorter because this is a lot of typing, all right? So we're going to say const here. We're going to take this function, get rid of it, take the rest of this, turn it into an arrow function. And right here, we're going to use, first we're going to use the unary plus, because we're going to have to turn this stuff back into, we're going to have to turn this stuff into a number. So the unary plus operator precedes its operand and evaluates to its operand, but attempts to convert it to a number. It's basically just like number.parseInt, okay? But it's just one character. And it's not for every situation either. All right, but in this situation, we can use it. So we're going to say plus, so to turn this string into a number, and we're going to say B dot match, because B is the larger one in these examples, right? Because like we said before, if b is larger, we're going to return 1. So b.match, and the match method retrieves the result of matching a string against a regular expression. And so we're going to use some regex on this. And inside the regex, we're going to use this D, what do you call this? This D, I guess, character class. And it matches any digit in the Arabic numerals, which are equivalent to 0 to 9. For example, this or this matches 2, and B2 is the suite number. All right. So basically here, we're going to say regex right here, then D, and then we're also going to use this quantifier over here, this plus sign, which matches the preceding item X one or more times. So in this case, it'd be this D. It's going to look for one or more digit. So in the case of 12 or 12 here, or that's basically it, 10, 11, you know what I'm saying. So we're going to say this minus, and this is where we take care of the edge case. We're going to do the A at O thing again. And now we're going to use a ternary operator. If you don't know what a ternary operator is, we got that right here. The conditional or ternary operator is the only JavaScript operator that takes 3 operands: a condition followed by a question mark, then an expression to execute if the condition is truthy, followed by a colon, and finally the expression to execute if the condition is falsy. Basically, it's just how we do it, how we do if-else statements, one-liner style. All right. So we're going to say if this equals capital O question mark, then we're going to return 1, and if not, we return 0. So basically, in the case of if this is this one here, it would go through, it would match it. Here's 12 right here, and is A at 0 this? Does it have the O in it? No, it does not. So it will subtract 0 from that, all right? And so now we're going to say, we're going to do this stuff minus, is that good? Does that look good? Yes, it does. Minus, and then we're just going to take this and redo it and do the opposite. We're going to say A.match and blah, 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 all right? So we're going to say A.match all this minus B at 0 equals that, all right? And that way, like, let's say this is the 12 drummers drumming, right? It's going to find the 12 drummer drumming. Let's say this is this one here. So it's going to look and it's going to say, yeah, okay, so 0. So that means it's going to turn that number into 11. 11 minus, and then A.match, all this stuff, it'll turn out to be 12. So 11 minus 12 would make it -1, meaning this is above this, all right? Basically, and then same thing for everything else. And let's see if I'm right or just playing around. Nope, I'm right. Let's attempt it. The other one was 6. This one's 10. Oh, big loser. We're going to come right back over here, and this is the one we're using. Test it out one more time. Attempt it. Submit it. Very much like this one. Let's go to My Solutions. There we go. Best practice in my opinion. And we'll see you next time.